You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
As always, there are positives, there are negatives, there is so much to unpack. But let's start the season strongly. Let's get into good habits early. The Miami Dolphins beat the Atlanta Falcons 20-13 in the opening preseason game of the 2024 season. Long-time listeners of Go Time Dolphins will know that sometimes myself and Charlie will be so hyped to talk about the game, and then like 10 minutes in, we haven't even spoke about the results. So get it in early. Dolphins win 20-13. So many injuries to get through. Just before we hit record, there is news of a release from the Dolphins. So, like I said, so much to unpack. Before we delve into all of that, Mr. Charlie Touche, how are you?
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. I got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you could be a fan of your favorite franchise. I see where it gets mumbled up. It's the F.
It's F. Yeah.
The favorite franchise is where I mumble. But yeah. What's up, Kadeem? What we doing, man?
Yeah, it's that. I don't want to say relief, but when kickoff happened, it was just like, we're back. And I wish we could sit here and say that, it was smooth sailing. It was, no negatives, no injuries, no nothing. Unfortunately, there wasn't the case. But as I mentioned off the top, the Dolphins won. I guess my first question to you is, do results matter in preseason?
They matter if you lose. Like if you win, no, the results don't matter in preseason. But if you lose, it kind of matter a little bit, but it's not significant though. But short answer, yes, they do if you lose.
Yeah, so I ended up watching the Bills game on Sunday, and the Chicago Bears just toyed with their food. Like the Bears wiped the floor with the Bills, and it was funny because Josh Allen started the game, and I think they put up 6 points, and that was it throughout the entire game. The Dolphins, on the other hand, is it safe to say no starters? There was no Tua, no Waddle, no Hill. Like it was essentially the backups, the rookies, be it drafted or UDFAs, and the guys hoping to make the practice squad. Although actually no, Jason Sanders did play, and I guess we saw the good and the bad of Jason Sanders. But yeah, 2013 result. Who again off the bat, who stood out for you for the Dolphins?
Bro, how long was that field goal? 60, 59? That Jason
58.
Sanders field goal? But listen.
The one he made was 58, and I think the one he missed was also 58.
Jason Sanders hit from 58, and it looked like it would have been good from 68. No word to lie.
Yeah,
it had so much more on that ball. I'm here to tell you, Kadeem, that Jason Sanders is going to hit a 64-yard field goal this season. The record is 66. The 50-year-old record was 63. Like growing up in life, it was always 63-yard field goal was the record. But now it's 66. Not saying he's going to break a record this year, but he's gonna hit a field goal over 63 yards this season. That kick had everything behind it. I'm like, yo, Sanders is a dude. And then he missed the kick. I'm like, all right. Hold bro. I'm like, all right. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, man, that was a ball. But what did you think about it?
What, the Jason Sanders kick?
Yeah.
Yeah, again, like when the Dolphins settled for the field goal 58 yards, I was like, yeah, preseason, it's one of those things where they must know he can do it, and it's whether he can, do it in a live setting with fans and an actual, a special team trying to stop you. But what shocked me was that it wasn't like it sneaked over the line or like over the goalpost. There was distance, and like you said, that probably was good for like 64, 68. And I guess it gives the team and Jason Sanders belief that should the Dolphins need a 5 seconds left, 58-yard field goal, he has it in his locker. But then, like you mentioned, later on in the game, I think from a similar distance, it was wide right, which I guess is a good thing. You'd rather be wide than short, but also it's that consistency. Hopefully, we don't need him to hit too many 55+ yard field goals, but it's the NFL. You just never know when and where a kicker will need to be, money from.
You said what stood out to me? That stood out. Not only did that stand out, Tuesday's 24, Malik Washington stood out. And we got to see him in pads and uniform, game time situation, and live and living color. And I'm here in the pros, by the way. Like, yeah, you look at college film and you really don't know what you're looking at. Like, who are these other kids that he's playing against? Are they? Is this their last game? Have you know what I'm saying? Are they even going to make it to the next level? But now we see Malik Washington live and in living color. Kadeem, I am so proud of Malik Washington being on Tuesday's 24, bro. Like, and what was he? A 5th round pick? 6th round pick?
Yeah, I think it was a 5th round pick.
Bro, I'm like, listen, like, what's going on here? This dude is a dude. You know what I'm saying? And what I've seen from Malik Washington is, Jalen Waddle is nursing an injury. I don't know if we even recorded since Jalen Waddle had his injury. He's been sidelined and not practicing and not working out, and many suspect it's a lower body injury, according to sources. So anyway, if Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill misses time, Malik Washington is a plug, bro. Like, he was running the motions, the Miami motion. We might as well just call it the Miami motion since we did it first. He was running the Miami motion and he looked like he fit in. Oh yeah, this is us. This is it right here. And then next year, and I know we hear preseason of this year, but next year it's gonna be Malik Washington, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Jalen Wright, who we will get to A-Chan. I'm like, hold on, bro. Bro, there's a South Park meme. And I don't know if I have to say what the South Park meme is.
Is it the guy in the chair and the computer?
Yeah. He's in the chair. Bro,
We'll leave it at that.
Listen,
We'll leave it at that.
Listen, we'll leave it at that. Like, listen, man. That's what the mind. Once upon a time, and I said this maybe last year, or even, you know what? I think I said this 2 years ago, and I reiterate it every single year. Once upon a time, the Kansas City Chiefs were the Golden State Warriors of the NFL. And their offense was just must-see television. Once upon a time, Juan Carlos Stanton was must-see television every time he had an at-bat. Once upon a time, bro, there's also Simone Biles. I got to see this. I just got to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to say with my chest, bro, the Miami Dolphins offense is the Golden State Warriors, are the Golden State Warriors of the NFL, bro. Like, yeah, we don't have the rings to support it. I'm just saying the offense is high-flying, super sexy, must-see TV, and can go nuclear at any given snap. So, Yeah, we're gonna be all right. And my comparison of Malik Washington, where do you get a load of me? Malik Washington is a hybrid of Jarvis Landry and Jalen Waddle. That's what he looks like, bro. Like when you see Malik Washington on the field, that's what I see right there. Is a cross between Jarvis Landry and Jalen Waddle, and Malik Washington is gonna have a future in Miami.
So shout out to all the patrons. If you are a patron, you will see our. If I can get this working. Oh, too much stuff on my desk. You will see our game ball segment on Patreon. So I don't want to delve too much into who was amazing and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Malik Washington was an absolute stud. For those who weren't aware of him beforehand, you know what he is like now. Obviously, I don't want you to talk too much, Charlie. But did you see? To be fair, you probably didn't see. There were people on social media who were disappointed in Malik Washington's debut or preseason debut, and they were like, so basically they were saying he had one catch for 5 yards. That's nothing too impressive, and people were like, don't know what game you watched, because yes, stats showed one catch for 5 yards. He's done so much more than just catch that one ball for 5 yards. I believe he had like a 23-yard end around, and
we ran the same preseason reverse that we ran last year with Eric Ezukama, where friend of the podcast, Alama Uluave, led the lead block. Same exact play, but it was Malik Washington, and that looked really good too. Like, bro, preseason is not about stats, bro. Only if you lose, it matters. Like, all right, preseason, it kind of matter. Like, yo, we gotta let's close a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? But nah, nobody's stats in preseason matters, bro. You know what I'm saying? Last or Jamar Chase came out as a rookie, and his preseason was, he's dropping balls. And look what Jamar Chase did his rookie year, and since then. You know what I'm saying? So nah, bro. They acting, bro. This is why I don't live on social media.
Yeah, and again, shout out to Jason Sarney, because he was, having a back and forth with people and kind of saying there's the Jalen Wright touchdown where you can see Malik Washington blocking extremely well. It's like, we often say that if you want to make this roster, especially as a wide receiver, you need to know how to block. And Malik Washington showed in the brief glimpses we saw of him that he's a dude. He is ready to play meaningful snaps from week one. And again, for anyone who, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Anyone who doesn't like Chris Greer as a drafter or as a GM, he just found an absolute gem in the 5th round in Malik Washington. As I mentioned,
another gem.
Another gem. As I mentioned, there were some negatives, and the injuries in that game were just absolutely brutal. So we do know that Keon Smith is out for the year, ACL injury. Grayson Murphy has been placed on IR as well. His knee, get a knee injury. Ezekiel Vandenberg is awaiting the results from an MRI on his leg. Jody Forston left the game with a stinger. Seren Neal came out of the game. Obviously, we know Aaron Brewer's out. Tanner Connor came out of the game injured. Just injury after injury after injury after injury. Which took the gloss of the result, I guess. But I feel like we talk about preseason quite a lot, especially this side of it. There's not much we can do in terms of keeping players fit during, any game, let alone preseason game, is there?
I mean, it's football, bro. It's a violent sport. Athletes are getting bigger, stronger, and faster. Shout out to George St. Pierre. I know you know who that is. You know what I'm saying? Kadeem has this is wild. Kadeem's UFC acumen of early 2000s. It's funny. or late 90s. But like, listen, George St. Pierre said the athlete of today is better than the athlete of yesterday. And the athlete of tomorrow is going to be better than the athlete of today. And they're just superhuman beings, bro. They're mutants playing sports, and things are going to happen. They do things that the average person isn't supposed to be able to do. So you're going to see injuries and hamstrings and soft tissue injuries. And I'm not sure if you can do anything to prevent it. Maybe soft tissue, maybe you can stretch more. I'm not even sure. I'm not even qualified to give that response. See what I'm saying? So I did wonder that, like, yo, I was going to take Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round of my fantasy football draft. Jahmyr Gibbs like has a hamstring issue as of 12 hours ago. Like, bruh, I'm heartbroken. Shout out Go Time Dolphins, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I'm like, yo, could you not stretch more in the offseason or something? Like, what's up? What's up with this? Don't we have a one of the Go Timers? Don't we have one of the listeners? Is it Tim? Maybe we were talking about being hydrated with cramps and stuff, drinking more fluids. You remember he was in the comments, and we were talking about I was talking about how I drink a gallon of water, and I was cramping. He was like, yeah, basically you got to drink more. And he's like, he said what he does for a living. Oh, that sounds like we can go get some advice from him. So I don't know if stretching more means you'll be less inclined to tear something, but yeah, bro, I don't know. I don't know the answer to your question.
Yeah, again, shout out to Ricky Watson. You know, that preseason episode will be in the pipeline because it's really important. And you know, something sprang to mind this morning, which I was like, I need to say it on a podcast. And I forgot it. And it's one of like really profound things. And I'm annoyed. I should have written it down. But
how profound is it if you forgot it?
Profound enough that, you know, I wanted to remember it. Like there's important things that people forget every single day, like their anniversary date and, you know, stuff which so much more important.
You airing out the laundry already? Did something happen?
Listen, our 3-year anniversary, both myself and Hannah completely forgot about it. Completely forgot. It wasn't until I was like, I'm going out. She was like, oh yes, our 3-year anniversary today. I was like, oh snap.
Oh wait. So you said you was going out, and she said, "Oh yeah, it's our 3-year anniversary."
As in, yeah, because she remembered just as I was going out.
Hey, newsflash from one homie to another. Newsflash. She didn't forget, bro.
Oh no, she did. Like 100. 100.
It's okay. Like listen. One homie to another. We don't have to do this, but she did not forget. I'm telling
Hannah Montana in the comments. Can you clarify that you forgot? But anyway, enough about my my dirty laundry. But yeah, yeah, I just think that there's going to be injuries. Be it week 1 preseason, week 1, you know, in the season, it doesn't matter. There's nothing you could do to prevent injuries. Like Gibbs got hurt, was it in training?
Yeah.
Like again, that has nothing to do with the regular season. That's just you're running. And listen, enough about injury. The Dolphins had enough. As I mentioned earlier, just before we jumped on this recording, I should say, Adam Schefter announced that the Dolphins released defensive tackle Tayer Tart. Apologies if I pronounce his name incorrectly. But yeah, it's would you say it's interesting, or was it just, listen, this camp, this is going to happen every single week, and don't get too tied down to people on the roster bubble?
I mean, yeah, I'm not even spending no time on that. It's going to happen. we got 40 people we got to let go eventually? 45? Or, yeah, 45. Listen, back to this preseason game real quick. Some things I just wanted to touch on and keep it moving. Skylar Thompson ain't it. I don't want to be harsh. He's just not it. It's cool. You had a couple years in the NFL. Miami Dolphins need a better backup. That's it. Jeff Wilson Jr. is really good. And I'm going to miss him when we have to let him go because we have other running backs on the team. I don't know what Chris Brooks looks like because it was too small of a sample size. I don't know if he's recovered from his injury or if it was a type of injury where you have to worry about his immediate future. But I really like Chris Brooks. And then you have Jalen Wright and then Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane, Alec Ingold. I don't know if there's a spot on this team for Jeff Wilson Jr. So I really wanted to give him some kudos because he's dope. He's really good. And somebody's going to get a really good backup running back. Jalen Wright, the running back that I was like, I don't like that we traded up for this running back. You know what I'm saying? This dude had a screen pass. And I'm not sure who it's on. He bobbled it behind the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure if it was on the quarterback, not putting it in the right spot. The ball hit him square in the hands, though, and he bobbled it and did a pirouette and, like, turned around and had to gather it. And then with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on him. For any of the Miami Dolphin fans who remember running back Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that's a name you just pull out like, dang, I'm kind of surprised I pulled that one out. And he went reverse field and had plus yardage on a negative play. And I'm like, oh my goodness. These boys is in trouble. Like, Jalen Wright is the future of the Miami Dolphins. And Kadeem, I'll be honest with you. I kind of forgot who wore 25 before him.
I'm not even going to get into that because there's a new 25 in the building. And yeah, Jeff Wilson is good, and no team is going to call the Miami Dolphins in the next 2 weeks and say, hey, we're going to give you a 6th or 7th round pick for Jeff Wilson because you know he's going to get cut because of how strong this Miami Dolphins running back room is. But my gosh, this is a very, very, very strong Miami Dolphins running back room. And again, it's a very strong Miami Dolphins offense. Outside of the backup quarterback position, not just Skylar Thompson, but Mike White. And it's funny how after the game, social media is awash with, hey, go and get number 17 back and make him the backup. And I'm like, again, complete different skill sets. Like, the one thing Ryan Tannehill was not known for was getting the ball quickly out of his hands. He was stand in the pocket and take hits, but this offense isn't a stand in the pocket, take hits, and try and launch the ball downfield. So Ryan Tannehill might not be the answer. And if he is, I don't want to know what the question is. But yeah, I think it's you on mute.
I said, nah, I'm not trying to revisit Ryan Tannehill in Miami. Like,
yeah,
we already watched that movie.
Like, even as a backup, I just no.
I already told you you already know what I want to do.
Yeah, of course.
Shout out to Nick Needham, by the way. Nick Needham looked pretty good.
He did. As did Ethan Bonner. But like I said, game balls will be in Patreon. Do you want to chuck us into bonus time? Because there's a Charlie Touche. It's not a Charlie Touche quote, but Charlie Touche said something the other day in our WhatsApp group which had me crying with laughter. And it was based on a Mike McDaniel comment. So bring us into bonus time and we will discuss that because that was brilliant.
Nice cliffhanger, Kadeem. Y'all know what time it is, man. Come on over to bonus time with us. Chop it up. Vibe. Pull up. You know what I'm saying? How does thing go?
Thank you for tuning in this time.
You know, because I usually just say, y'all know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? And then I go into it, but then I had to throw in the other stuff, and then it threw me off. But for Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Stay positive, test negative. See what I'm saying? Y'all know what time it is. And dang, bro, I'm all over the place. Hey, holla at us. This is Go Time Dolphins. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
Oh, Charlie look like me when I'm doing the outro. Just like, I know there's a few things to say. I don't know what I'm gonna say. So,
Bro,
yeah,
that was terrible. That was terrible.
But again, between us, we know like it's all good, right? So, listen, we are not. Listen, Chris Gray and Mike McDaniel, we believe in, we trust in, we go to bat, but there's times when you've got to say, hold on, please remember who you're talking to. So, Mike McDaniel, after the preseason game, said, the Dolphins have more NFL caliber offensive linemen in their locker room currently than they can keep on a 53-man roster. Charlie said, and I won't say it verbatim because, this is a kids-friendly TV show. Shout out to all our fans. But Charlie Touche said, you can't pee on my head and tell me it's raining. And Charlie, take it away because I absolutely love what you said.
Nah, bro, come on now. Like McDaniel, come on, bro. Like Chris Greer, come on, man. Like, listen, it was cool for a little bit when everybody was concerned about the O-line, and then all of a sudden the Miami Dolphins had the best offense in the league. Round of applause. That was year one. You know what I'm saying? Year two, it was, hey, yo, we fixed this line a little bit. We'll be looking really good. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is year three. Like, no, bro. Like, listen, Kadeem, I am ready. I don't know how you're going to do it with the cap, but we need to find a way to trade a 1 and a 2 for a starting blockbuster piece on the O-line. It's like we got paid for it. We did it with Laramie Tunsil, and he saved the franchise. Now we have to pay it back. I said pay for it. We got to pay it back and give up all his capital for a Hall of Famer in return. You know what I'm saying? A cornerstone piece in the O-line has to come back years later after the Laramie Tunsil trade. And if you have a thing for nostalgia, maybe we could have did it on the same day, like the anniversary. Just bring it all together, but that's not happening. So we need O-line help, bro. The only year that the Chiefs didn't succeed in the AFC Championship was the year that they had a trash O-line. That is it. And then they succeeded every other year after that and won every Super Bowl they ever been to. So, we need an O-line, bro.
It's Patrick Paul. Great get. Looked absolutely solid at left tackle. Looked like he could get into space and find work. Brilliant. I'm confident that when Teron Armstead gets hurt, Patrick Paul can slot in. And listen, there will be a downgrade because Patrick Paul isn't a all-pro left tackle. He's a rookie. There's going to be some bumpy moments, but I'm confident he can get the job done, and the decline in play won't be too significant. I can't say that across the rest of the line. Right now, the Dolphins don't have a healthy starting left guard that I'm confident about. Right now, the Dolphins don't have a healthy starting center, and the right guard might have to play center because the center's injured. So who's our right guard? That's way too many questions when the season starts in a few weeks. And I understand wanting to, pay guys in the building. Listen, you will not find a pair of people who won't go to bat harder for a friend of the podcast, Javon Holland, to get paid in Miami. It's impossible. We are leading that train and have been since day one when he came on the podcast and said he loved Miami. It was like, yo, we love you. You know, we want you to be a long-term Miami Dolphins player. But my day to the Dolphins, like, we've seen some of these players and they're not trash, they're not turnstiles, but it's just not good enough. So how the Dolphins?
My bad, Kadeem. Go ahead.
No.
My bad.
I was gonna say the Dolphins need to use the draft picks they have next year and go get someone ASAP. Listen, there's teams in the NFL who deep down, not even deep down, right now are saying to each other, we're not making the playoffs. We're looking at getting a higher draft pick to bring in a quarterback or X, Y, and Z. Go to that team, get their best interior offensive lineman, if they're worthy of a first or second round pick, and bring them to Miami, because right now it's gross negligence.
I wish we would have brought this up on the other side of bonus time. Jalen Phillips activated from the PUP list.
Yes.
Yo, how you feel about that?
It's scary given the short time frame that he got hurt, but at the same time, I say short time frame, it's like what, 9 months, and medicine, you know, doctor surgery, all that kind of stuff. It improves every single year. So if the team believes he's able to participate, and you know, maybe get the odd snap in here and there before week 1, I wholeheartedly believe that that's the right decision. Like, I'm not going to sit here and question, you know, the medical department, which I have no understanding in.
I am not a doctor. I wish I could do my Jim Harbaugh impersonation right now. I'm not a doctor. Whatever he said, he killed it. He nailed it, bro. But I am not a doctor. I don't like it, Kadeem. Like, man, listen, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could be cleared if I don't like it, bro. We don't need you week 1, bro. We don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool, but it just feels like he's not supposed to come back until like week 8. I would be happy if he didn't come back until like week 8. I wonder if the Dolphins front office would be extra careful, knowing how important the season is and what we want to accomplish in trying to get a Super Bowl, and we want people to be healthy. We got Chop Robinson. Kind of intrigued by Chop Robinson and Jalen Phillips starting the season. You know what I'm saying? Without Bradley Chubb, now we kind of, hey, Bradley Chubb, you on the clock, boy. You know what I'm saying? Who's it gonna be? Bradley Chubb or Jalen Phillips? Only one of y'all can stay. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we got Chop. So I just don't like him coming back so soon. It feels so soon. It feels rushed. Not saying that it is rushed. And I just want to reiterate that return to play does not mean return to performance. That's all I got, man.
No, that is true. As we mentioned, the other side of bonus time, head on over to Patreon, where we will be giving out our first game balls of the season. You won't want to miss that. Shout out to all of our patrons. We don't do this enough in terms of actually naming you and giving you the props that you deserve. So shout out to, there was no twisting of the arm. She done this out of her own accord. Shout out to Hannah Montana. Shout out to Robert Ashton. Shout out to JML. Shout out to Mike McDrip, Keith Bender, Tim Carrow, Lane, and Hammer. And then also shout out to Mo Will, Alex Colshawn, and Gary Duga. So yeah, shout out to all you dudes. You are all genuinely, like, can't thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And shout out to everyone who rocks with us over here at Go Time Dolphins, be it in the comment section, be it on social media. We would not be where we are. Shout out to Mike McDrip as well. Yeah, literally Mike McDrip, Mike McDaniel. Shout out to all of you. Thank you for tuning in this time. I'm just going to say, I was going to do the Charlie outro. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. But that's not me.
What's so funny is that's the part that I left out, and you was just about to say it. That's crazy.
I will keep it simple. I will do the Kadeem Simmons outro. We shall see you on the next one. Peace.